Hi guys, I'm Kelly Harris from KDS Keltec. I have Russ from Midlands Car Care here. We're going to run through a demo range of some of the Lake Country pads. So, do you remember, Russ, when you come down 8 years ago? It was 8 years ago, wasn't it, on the training?
8 years, yeah.
So obviously in that training, that was obviously a long time ago. And we didn't have a 15mm machine available. I want to call it 15mm, the Yorby, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, so you would have been rotary only.
Like 8mm DA and rotary.
Yeah, that was it. That's all we had, was just a rotary machine or an 8mm orbit machine. And that could be the DAS 6 I got there, the Maguires, there was Chinese knockoffs. There was
I think I imported one of the American, the porter cables.
Porter cables, yeah.
As well,
so
the big
Jay,
110 volt.
He gave me a porter cable. So obviously we know that does an 8mm orbit.
Yes.
And the only thing that ever happened to these machines, they got lighter, more ergonomics, prettier looking.
A bit more powerful.
Yeah,
I think they got a bigger motor.
So, like that.
Yes.
Sort of nicer look to it, it's nicer feel. But essentially it was still an 8mm orbit. So whatever happened, it was an 8mm orbit. And if you had a newer version, the version 2, like you said, that one was version 2, when you pushed down, it didn't stall so much.
Correct.
That was the idea.
I remember,
yes. But we was really limited. We had really heavy cut rotary, and then the finest finishing machines.
Yes.
And if you remember, it was actually 8 years ago, wasn't it, on the training you think brought the Maguires microfiber pads down.
Yeah, I think they'd just come out that year.
Yeah, you brought them down to me.
Yeah, I'd bought the first batch that went into a retailer.
And I'm sure you remember on your thread, it shows that we was experimenting
with the removal rate.
Yeah, and we was quite shocked when you put the microfiber Maguire's cutting system on an 8mm orbit machine, which happened to be their 8mm machine.
Yes.
Their 8mm machine. We was quite surprised how much cut it had, didn't it?
Yeah.
And that was the first time me and you had actually been dabbled with microfiber pads when they first come out. And obviously they're very, very popular now. So we only had a choice of putting different pads on and compound onto a rotary or a DA.
Correct, yeah.
And there was no numbers, was there?
Yeah.
And obviously we can jump forward now to where we are now, near the end of 2019. We have 8mm, 12mm, 15mm,
21mm, yeah.
Most popular in what would you say? What would you say in England is the most popular size throw now?
Probably the 15mm.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah.
It's what we use all day long.
Yeah, I find the 21mm the orbit's a bit too big. Yep. Curved panel, it can be tricky. So what you're trying to suggest there is when you go up to an edge, when you've got this big orbit and you're trying to go over an edge, it's a lot of throw. There's a lot of throw, a lot of counterbalance weight happening, so it's vibrates. It feels less control.
Yeah, so I think the 15mm is a happy medium.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, you asked me earlier, and you've come down, obviously, travelled a long distance, because of the traffic, 5 hours.
Indeed.
Which is, welcome to England, south of England, not where you're from. You said to me earlier, what's the difference between a HDO pad and an SDO pad?
SDO pad, yes.
And I was like, okay, let's run through it. So what we've got here, I've actually helped demonstrate this. I've got an SDO pad.
Okay,
I've got a HDO pad. And I've got actually it's called a force pad, but I've pulled this one here to help demonstrate and describe the differences. So what we've got, let's start with the SDO, and it's quite well written in this catalogue. It explains well what an SDO pad is. So the idea of an SDO pad, standard duty orbit pad, so it's like
duty orbit. Okay.
So it's for the 8mm machines down here. The idea is ideally it's for the 8mm machines. It would work on another machine. Now, why has Lake Country now brought out a HDO or heavy duty or high orbit? You want to call it? It's actually called heavy duty. So let me pick this pad up. If we had this on a 15mm machine like this, and it's doing the 15mm orbit, what you actually get is this rock. So it rocks a lot on the face. Okay. Because it's a very large foam, and obviously it's quite a soft foam.
Yes.
So you get 15mm here. You're not going to get 15mm on the face because you're getting some flex in the foam. And if you think of the foam as it's rocking, it's actually getting hot. So the foam is warming up through its own internal friction. It's rubbing itself, like getting cloth together with your hands.
Of course, makes sense.
So it's all flexing.
Yes.
So we've just said that an 8mm machine didn't have enough cut, but 15s did. Yes. You imagine if they made a microfiber pad that happened to be like an 1.5 inch thick. What would happen is the cut level of that pad would reduce because you're not getting 15mm circles.
Which is why they're thin.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're getting less movement or less of an orbit. So instead of being 15mm, it might be a 12, it might be a 10.
10, yeah.
And obviously, as you get to a finishing pad, and it's a softer pad, it flexes more.
Okay.
So this is actually in our range called a force pad. It's a pad that can be used on every type of machine. and it helps me demonstrate that that pad will rock as it's doing the orbit, and it's going to flop around. And as these pads warm up, we know they get softer.
Yes.
As they have liquid in their compounds, they get softer again. It starts flopping quite a lot. So you're actually reducing the cut on that face. That might be to a plus point to professionals that really, really know the art. They're a master of it.
They understand what the foam's doing.
But
okay.
more importantly, what we've got is you've got the HDO pad. If you look there, is actually got more black foam than the HDO. So I've just measured these on the paint weighing scales. That's 23 grams. That's 31 grams. So as the catalogue says, this is a slightly heavier pad. And this interface pad is very, very dense. So there's actually less material of black there compared to there. So that's going to flex very little, if any. That's going to flex more side to side.
Fine. So you get the full.
You're getting the full cut.
15
so the
mil.
idea is, if it's on a 21 mil or 15 mil, you're going to get the full cut on the face.
Curve. Okay.
Now that doesn't mean you can't use this on an 8 mil.
Yes.
Likewise, you could use this on a 15, but you've got to realise
it's not as effective as it could be.
And also the foam's going to generate more heat. It's going to wear. It could tear down. It disintegrates in the end. You see pads when people have polished with the wrong pad choice and they push really hard.
Yes.
It's a pad.
Yes.
Everyone's
made that mistake. Yeah.
So next thing, what's happened here? The idea of this thick interface pad, the heat generated on this face doesn't transfer into the backing plate on the machine, and vice versa. The machine heat, if you've been using the machine all day, as it goes through it stops as a barrier. So there's a slight control there in the heat dissipation. Then obviously the centre hole, with the centre hole now it's for alignment and cooling, which you said.
Yeah.
You asked me earlier. Let's wait.
Hole. Yeah.
So does that make sense?
Absolute sense. Yeah.
So I don't know. I can ask you this question: do you know of another manufacturer at the moment that actually makes dedicated, specific pads like that?
Not for specific throws,
no.
And if they do, or it's implied they do, then I've not seen one with an interface pad.
All I've seen is like an inch thick or a half inch thick.
Yeah.
But there's the same foam, so it's like those.
Exactly.
So this is a new thing for what Lake Country's done.
Yeah.
That's what you'd have a choice in many other brands before, and I can get why they do different things, but they've actually really thought out the box here and actually gone, no, actually, it makes more sense to have
the interface.
There is another little bit as well. This is heavier, and the idea with a higher orbit is to keep it rotating and spinning.
Yes.
Because it's a centrifugal side force. It helps to counterbalance weight. If you put a thin piece of sandpaper on that, and it hasn't got the correct weight of the pad, it's going to put some more vibrations in that machine.
Oh, of course it will.
There might be a very slight premature wear. More importantly, it's the ergonomics. As you're polishing, you get vibration on your hands.
Yeah.
So you're trying to match the weight of the pad to whatever this tool recommendation of the pad.
Yes.
By having an interface pad, you can alter the weight of this without changing the characteristics of that to give the best cut. So
it's good to see how its thought has gone into that,
makes
that
sense.
design. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolute sense. So, as you said, you asked me when we were swapping messages on the phone, it was a little bit confusing because other manufacturers aren't offering this many options.
Yes.
Now it makes more sense.
Absolute sense.
It's logical. So what we've got, I've got the SDO and the HDO, sort of a perfect one-step pad in America.
So it's a medium cut pad.
Bang in the middle. So we've always been taught, and everyone's always said, if you don't know what you're doing polishing and you want to do a test patch, you start
in the middle.
In the middle. So there's a medium cut pad.
Okay.
So we've got the HDO, which is obviously there's the finishing one, and we've got the SDO. So what we're going to do, we're going to stick with the HDO because we want, if we're going to use a 15mm machine, we want to make it 15mm on the face. We've set up a couple of little areas here. We're going to use like a medium cut compound.
Okay.
I've got a choice for you if you want. You can go with, I think we should go with Menzerner, like a PF 2300. We can even try Maguire's 205, which is more of a finishing cut. But let's go with a medium cut compound. We've got that pad on a 15mm machine, a different brand.
Okay, yeah.
This happens to be a different brand machine over there set up. And we'll do a little square. We'll move it out of the way so Jay can get past it. We can see some holograms as well. There's more, there's a little bit faint holograms, but there's more wash swirling on there.
Yeah, it's wash defects, small marks.
Yeah. So the machine, as I said, will be the repairs 15mm orbit, so it's 15 mil, so it's 15mm there. We'll go for sort of a Menzerner, medium cut compound, and just put a few blobs on. and then we can unmask it and have a look.
So the pad's already primed.
Yeah, it's got enough on it. Yeah. I'm just going to do a little small area. So what we're doing. I'm not going to spend too long, just do a quick bit. More to show like a one step. Quick
okay.
Now, I'm not polishing this wing, it might need more. I'm just going to go with very light pressure, light speed. A person that's got limited knowledge should do. Gentle, light, me, I'm very low speed. I'm going very cautious.
It's quite low risk as well.
Yeah. So I'm very cautious. It's just really to see as a sort of test run what it's to achieve. It makes more sense to do a test run. If you want to put that out for trolley, you haven't got one of these trolleys, have you?
No, I need one. Yeah, or two or three. There you go, thank you.
So what I do, I'll pull the tape off, and then I'm going to be really careful like that. And what we're going to do, we get the light. So I can see there's an improvement already. So thank you, Russ. Scan grip light. So we've got swirly holograms there, which hopefully Jay's capturing perfect, and then you can see the correction. There is some slightly deeper marks. One more pass with that would fix them, but we're looking for...
But for a medium polish, medium pad, that's...
Yeah, it's a great improvement.
That's impressive.
Yeah, so what we can do, we can IPA it, so we get some... So there should be an IPA bottle there with a cloth.
Yeah.
Do that. Because obviously there could be fillers in compounds left behind. I'll wipe that down. I'm going to check it again. Thank you, Ross. So yeah, you can see there's not that horrible hologram finish. That's a great enhancement. And now I know that works. I could have worked that a little bit longer, put a tiny bit more speed, pressure, and get a better correction rate. We was talking about the old microfiber pads you used years ago.
Yes.
So with the HDO, it's slightly different. I open this one up in the HDO range. Is what we got here, which is different to the foam that they've. And I quite like this, as you know, most microfiber pads are either heavily tapered, we won't name brands, or square, completely square. Now, my preference is this, and so is Jay's. His preference is we like this because obviously we can get up to an edge, and it means that when we've got that on the backing plate, this edge is sticking out further than the backing plate. So that means it gives us a couple of mil barrier where you could accidentally nudge a part of the car.
Yeah.
When it's a straight edge, it's a slight more compromise if you're trying to get in the tricky areas. It does depend on one machine to another because different backing plates are obviously completely different. You know, the backing plate here is very, very different. It's actually smaller, so then that's tapered. I like the fact this carries on, so I can work up to an edge. So my preference is if it did no more cutting, which it does, it's slightly more aggressive. We found it to be a lot more durable, and that's not just me, that's all my staff that have used those pads. We found, because you asked me earlier about washing them or blowing them.
Yeah, the best way and at what point they lose their effectiveness. You said something about disintegrating or falling. What was it you said to me about not these pads, but other pads you've used? Other brands of these kinds of pads, they've delaminated, the Velcro's come off. I've not had that issue with... Yeah.
And I've not had one of them do that yet, so we've really... They've been more durable, probably 20% more durable, which means we're using them longer, and they've never disintegrated, they've never delaminated, and we're using them exactly the same way, so it's a preference we like. Cool. The fact you've got the hole in the middle for cooling, this tapered edge there, there's so many plus points. The fact that they last longer, so essentially you're going to buy less pads as well, so hopefully that makes sense. It's so in the range of the HDO, you can see you've got a great range there of... If I did it in order, obviously, it's taken all away. You've got your cutting, heavy cutting, and you've got a heavy polishing, sort of cutting, but foam, if someone likes foam. You've got a medium, and then you're finishing. There is actually an orange microfiber in there as well. Sorry, I'm on STO. Let's get to the HDO section on the pads.
So there is a slightly less cut. Yeah. So it fits here, I presume.
Yeah, it's a one-step. So there's more. There's actually that one as well, which we've not gone through today because...
Okay, so that would have given us slightly more cut than the foam.
Yes.
Orange.
Yes.
Okay.
So so really, and there's a nice chart at the back of the catalogue. If I move these out of the way, there's a great chart at the back, and it is amazing what they've done. But also, I am. You can see it really easily here. That actually, that HDO one-step pad is very close to these. But yeah, there's and if you go into the foam,
it's actually got more cut than the blue.
Yes.
Foam. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
HDO,
it would go there.
There we go there. Okay.
As a one-step. It's not going to. You get micromarine. That's going to finish down better. So it's preference, isn't it? But obviously my role is, and that's why you're here, and I had other people, a friend of mine, John's run me up asking me questions about these, is to now start doing videos explaining
how to get the best out of the range.
Otherwise, you don't have to drive 5 hours down here and then 5 hours back just to go, what pad does what? It'd be easier to watch a video and stop keep ringing me.
Yeah.
No, joking.
That's all right. He's going to block me one day, I reckon.
Yeah. No way. But anyway, that was a quick little video with Russ from Million's Car Care. Genuinely, she's contacted me 2 weeks ago about coming down,
about 2 weeks
talked
ago,
about these pads. Did I say, or was it you that said about the 8 years to date? It was weird. We was talking about it.
Yeah, I think it's you.
Yeah, and I've gone, hang on, when did you come? Because obviously you was my first ever pupil.
Yeah.
Which is actually 8 years ago, isn't it?
Yes.
First ever pupil to come here.
Yeah.
So that's a really weird, spooky thing. Still going, still successful.
Yeah.
How many cars do you think you've polished now?
No idea. It's
got to be a lot.
It's a lot. What, a full week? Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot over a long period of time, isn't it? But anyway, so I'm Kelly Harris from KDS Keltec. Thank you for watching. This is Russ from Million's Car Care. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that bell. Goodbye.